Hey, what's up guys, Ben here, welcome to another video on my channel, FilmFanatic, and yes, I'm wearing a hat because I rewatched my Suicide Squad video and my hair was just an absolute mess. So I'm wearing a hat today. You're welcome. I put out a poll on Twitter just asking what you wanted this video to be, and you guys voted for the 10 movie myths. So I'm going to give you 10 movie myths. Some are true and some people are still sceptical about. They are in no specific order, these are just ones that I know about and I wanted you guys to know about too. So let's go. First on my list is the hanging Munchkin in The Wizard of Oz. There's a scene where Dorothy, the Scarecrow and the Tin Man skip down the yellow brick road on to find the lion, and what do you see in the background? A hanging Munchkin. The story that goes along with it is one of the Munchkin actors committed suicide on set and they never noticed and they left it on screen and you can see it hanging in the background. Apparently. Number 2 is O.J. Simpson was originally wanted as the Terminator. Obviously the kick-off of Arnold Schwarzenegger's career, The Terminator is one of the most influential action movies of all time. But before Arnie stepped into the leather jacket and boots, they wanted O.J. Simpson. If you don't know who O.J. Simpson is, he was an actor. I think he was a sportsman before that, but he turned actor and he ended up killing his wife. Yeah, this video is pretty cheery so far, isn't it? So why did the director not cast O.J. Simpson? Well, the character of the Terminator was originally written as a normal human being who could fit into society and go unnoticed. However, after watching the tapes of O.J. Simpson's reading, he said he wasn't believable as a killer. What else can you say about that? We're going to number 3, and it is Dolph Lundgren nearly killed Sylvester Stallone. During the film of Rocky IV, arguably the best Rocky movie in the franchise, Sylvester Stallone, who obviously is playing Rocky for the 4th time, asked Dolph Lundgren, his competitor, his enemy in the movie, to hit him for real. And he did. Dolph Lundgren landed a brutal blow to the breastbone and that ended up enlarging Sylvester Stallone's heart 3 times its size, leaving him in hospital for 3 weeks and filming had to be stalled. Number 4 is real skeletons are used in Poltergeist. Poltergeist, a very well known horror movie with a lot of stories surrounding it. The first one being after the release of the movie, 6 of the main cast died within 6 years of each other. That's pretty creepy. The story that gets brought up most of the time is the fact that were real skeletons used in the swimming pool scene in Poltergeist? Well, I can confirm that it is actually true. It's been announced by cast and crew members saying that instead of spending money on fake plastic skeletons, they decided to use real ones, meaning the reactions of the actors were real, and you can understand why. Moving on to number 5, and it's that Harrison Ford hates the character of Han Solo. Now, arguably Harrison Ford's most recognised character besides Indiana Jones, Harrison Ford has never held back his true feelings about the character. After the release of the first Star Wars, it was revealed that he wanted George Lucas to write him out. He wanted the character of Harrison Ford to die after one movie, but instead he wrote him in for all 6 and eventually the 7th, where he did eventually die. However, Harrison Ford has never held back what he truly thinks of the character, saying that he actually hated playing it and he wished he had never taken it. Is that because he hated running about in the spandex with a massive hairy beast? Or is it because he hated the fame that surrounded it? Only he can tell you. Moving on to number 6, and movie icon Charlie Chaplin had his body stolen. Charlie Chaplin, a legend of black and white movies, reportedly had his body stolen from his grave after his death. The 2 thieves sent a ransom letter to Charlie Chaplin's widow, however she refused to pay it, saying that if she did, Charlie Chaplin would call her insane. However, the 2 thieves weren't the smartest men and it took them just 2 weeks to be found by the police, and after that, when the body was returned to the family, they buried Charlie Chaplin in an unknown location and covered his grave in concrete. Very much like Dumbledore. Moving on to number 7, and it is Walt Disney's last message. Walt Disney, a legend in film, reportedly wrote 2 words as his last message before he died, and they were Kurt Russell. Now why he wrote Kurt Russell, nobody actually knows. His family have no idea, and when asked, Kurt Russell himself said he had no idea why Walt Disney wrote it down. Some people believe it was because Kurt Russell was actually going to be cast in an upcoming Walt Disney movie, however was never told about it. Others think Walt Disney was just a big fan of Kurt Russell, but who actually knows? And one final theory is that because Kurt Russell actually started as a kid in one of Walt Disney's early works, he maybe believed he was going to be a future star and wrote his name down. But nobody really knows, and only one man can tell you, and sadly he passed away. Sticking with Walt Disney now, and it is that he did not want the voice actor of Snow White to get any more work. Well, how does this start? Well, Disney asked Jack Benny not to have her as a guest on his radio show. Combine that with very little screen time and pretty much no credit for the actress, people ended up just putting 2 and 2 together. So is there any truth to this? Well, Castellotti herself admitted Disney did not want her in any more of his productions as her voice was so recognisable as Snow White. However, she did eventually go on and get more works, being in The Wizard of Oz and It's a Wonderful Life. However, she was, unfortunately, uncredited. Poor Adriana. Moving on to number 9, and it's that Darth Vader was not actually Luke Skywalker's father. Now, George Lucas has always stated he had the plotline for Star Wars figured out in his head before they started filming, which makes the scenes with Luke and Leia kissing even more weird. However, many cast and crew have stated that Darth Vader was not originally written as Luke's father. Luke's father was meant to be a dead Jedi who would appear to him as a ghost later in the movie. However, when they added this plot twist, it ended up being one of the most famous plot twists in the history of film and one of the most recognisable there is. So there's nothing really we can argue about. He did pretty well. And finally, number 10 is that the MGM lion actually killed one of its trainers. Now, I can tell you right now that this is not true. In fact, there are various lions used for different MGM shots, so you might actually be seeing a different lion every time you see this logo. It was reported, however, that the MGM lion actually escaped its handler, mauled him to death, and then severely injured the director while shooting the famous roar. That's been proven wrong, as every handler who has dealt with the MGM lion has lived to tell the tale. No directors were injured, and this is in fact total poppycock. And that's my list. Did I miss anything out? Be sure to leave your movie myths in the comment section down below. While you're down there, please leave a like in the video, it really does help my channel out. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another FilmFanatic video. Just before I go, my friend Jamie is actually dyeing his hair for charity in aid of Marie Curie cancer care. So if you could please click the link in the description, that's a donation page. And if you can donate whatever you can, it would mean a lot to me, it would mean a lot to him, and it would mean a lot to anybody who has ever suffered from cancer or knows anyone who has. Because Marie Curie does a fantastic job in this, and he is raising it for a fantastic cause. So if you could spare any money, please donate it with the link in the description. Other than that, guys, I'll see you next time. Badoosh.